And now, from HuntsvilleAttic, it's the Smile or Else Show with your host, Mike Matthews.
Hey everybody, and welcome to Smile or Else Productions Film Podcast. My name is Mike Matthews, and today with me is
Robbie Billups.
James Lineback.
And today we are going to be talking about our top 5 favorite films. But first, Robbie.
Yes.
What qualifies you to be a film expert?
I've watched a shit ton of movies. That's my qualification.
Yes, and when he means shit ton of movies, you should see his movie collection.
Oh, it's modest. Trust me.
And my fault.
James, what makes you qualified for this?
Well, I mean, I guess first off, obviously, I went to film school. I studied. I have an academic approach to the construction of films and everything like that.
That sounds so pretentious, James.
It does, and it makes me feel that way myself, actually.
That's why I love you, pretentious James.
Yes. But not only that, because, when I graduated school, high school, I had no idea where I was going, no idea what to do. I moved to Boston for a year. I lived with these guys who were all into animation, who actually are animators, of course. And that got me into the production of film. Cool. And also, my friend here, Robbie.
Oh, damn.
During high school, we actually helped each other, produce a script that was going to be a
terrible script.
Yeah, that, and it was going to also be a horror movie. Probably most.
Well, you really don't need a great script for a horror movie, not
a true horrible movie.
Let's get into this. Let's get some meat behind our guest and co-host and everybody else that matters here.
Yes, sir.
Robbie Billups, can you please tell me what your favorite genre is?
If I had to pick a single favorite genre of film, which is not very hard for me to do, it would be horror, Mike, sir.
Ooh, horror.
That's really
I absolutely love horror movies.
So are you more suspenseful horror or slasher fic?
More supernatural horrors. I like vampire movies. I like werewolf movies. I like ghost stories. I like the older stuff more so. I do enjoy slasher films. Anything horror I will get into or try, except for the modern, cheesy, stupid horror movies that not even worth time.
Like Saw?
Like, I love the Saw movies,
Oh,
actually.
that's
I'm not gonna lie.
I
I do like the Saw movies. I'm a huge Eli Roth fan, even though he did Hostel, which was not Saw. But
Hostel
I think
good.
Saw
it's
1.
Very suspenseful.
Hostel 2, though, is a little more of the torture porn type series.
I prefer Hostel 2.
Really?
Yes.
So you're into torture porn?
No, I'm
That
not.
is what they currently actually call that genre of movie.
That's the problem with being a fan of horror movies, is that nowadays everybody associates it with the current torture porn crave.
Correct.
I do like Saw. I like the first one a lot. I don't really like 2. I like 3, and then they kind of lose me. The first Saw, I think, is very, for a modern horror film, I thought it was very, very different. I thought it was very smart. I thought it was really cool. Good twist, everything like that. Sequels, whatever. Everything has a sequel. I view Saw nowadays as the current reigning franchise, or it was kind of like a Friday 13th, Nightmare on Elm Street type thing.
How many have they done? Like 10 now?
7, I believe.
Yes, I think they might have.
I've never
actually
even
finally
seen
decided to
5,
end
6,
it.
or 7 at this point. But I do own Saw 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 on Blu-ray. But I haven't seen 5. But
Well, that seems a little pretentious.
So how many movies
Isn't
do
it?
you own that you haven't watched, dude?
probably couple hundred at least. But I like the supernatural horror. I love the old Universal stuff. When I was a kid, I loved Dracula, Frankenstein,
Creature from the Black
Wolfman,
Lagoon.
Creature from the Black Lagoon, Invisible Man, all that shit, all the sequels. And that
How do you
led
feel
into
about
other things. Hammer. You can't love Universal monster classic stuff without loving Hammer films. Hammer was the first time you got to see those films redone in color with cleavage and blood, like crayon red blood, like ridiculous Dawn of the Dead blood.
James, what is your favorite genre?
Well, not to sound like Robbie or anything. So, I do love the horror movies, and I do think they offer a ability to really expand upon the theme of your movie and get crazy and everything, and not necessarily worry about being in reality, because you get to augment it.
Absolutely.
So I will go with my second choice, of course. Or maybe not really second choice, but I really love the...
This is going to be your first choice.
Okay, well, okay. I really love dark comedies. Things where you get to say things you shouldn't say, see things you shouldn't see, and, you know, still connect with the real character.
Dark comedies like Barbershop and Harlem Nights.
Wow.
Really?
I'm stunned right now, and I don't know if I can reply to that. But, no, I mean, you know, more like the works of Wes Anderson.
I was just kidding.
Where are you?
Not really. I mean, those are dark comedies, too.
Well, you know, anything that
My
has...
favorite dark comedy is Coming to America. And
See, I don't see dark.
I thought it was Heathers.
I don't
Totally
see. I see.
Heathers is not my favorite dark comedy. It's actually House of Yes. Heathers is probably number
okay.
2 or 3.
So how is Coming to America a dark
I was
comedy? Because I'd
joking.
laugh my ass off.
I was joking because it's a movie with mostly black people. So
Oh, so you're racist now?
Well, it's not mostly black people.
I'm only racist when it's funny.
Eddie Murphy
Eddie
plays
Murphy
half
plays
the
a Jew.
characters. So-
Eddie Murphy plays a Jew. I have no problem with that. It's okay. So I'm not racist. It's all
Actually,
good.
when I lived in Philadelphia, there was a Jewish public
Like TV station.
programming. No, program
Yeah. Okay.
that was hosted by a Jewish black man. It is weird.
Lenny Kravitz is a Jewish black man.
That is
I
correct.
embrace the Jewish black man. A lot of Ethiopians are Jewish black men, so it's all good. I think James was referring to dark comedies as in content being dark about death or subject that is not privy to most. Creamsicle, my cat, has just crazed up here in HuntsvilleAttic. Anyway,
Yes.
dark comedies,
Thanks,
James,
Cream.
elaborate.
Well, you know, pretty much anything that deals with a very real subject matter, but then adds a little bit of comedy to relieve things.
Pokes fun at it, if you
I
will.
think.
Right.
I think the best example of a dark comedy would be Cable Guy.
Cable Guy is a dark comedy and an underrated movie.
Because
Probably my favorite Jim Carrey.
I think that Cable
Probably one of my
Cable Guy
favorite Ben
is a
Stiller
dark
movies.
comedy that a lot of people
It's way
Well,
better than Reality Bites.
will.
It's the same director, but it's Ben Stiller. It's the same director. That's the connection, but it's way better. Like
Well, I think
Cable Guy is very good.
I don't see Reality Bites as a dark comedy, but
It's not a dark
No,
comedy.
it's not. We're just talking about
It's
that directors.
a grungy
That's
early
movie.
'90s melodrama, like 90210.
what about
in
Singles
Seattle.
then? If we're going to talk about that, then we got to go Singles. The Singles was 10
Singles
times
is
better.
not a dark comedy either. James,
All right, so dark comedy.
what's your favorite
Dark
dark
comedy,
then?
dark
Like, What's your
comedy.
favorite? You mentioned Wes Anderson. Is it a Wes Anderson film or is it some other director?
Actually, it is because
You moderating this,
one of
or-
my
No, I am not, sir. It's you.
one of my favorite dark comedies is, of course, Rushmore, which involves two characters that somehow fall in love with the same woman, and there's just this vast age difference. One is actually a student at the school of the woman who's the teacher there.
Yep.
Oh, are they?
Played by Jason Schwartzman.
Yes.
And Bill Murray.
And yes,
Bill Murray was
that
there.
is one of my favorite
That
quotes
is
from that
a
movie.
brilliant film. I own the Criterion. You own it as well, I believe.
I do believe so, yes.
Yes,
I mean,
indeed.
I own most
I
of
do
his
not.
movies.
I own the Royal Tenenbaums.
Royal
Criterion.
Tenenbaums is one of my favorite movies. Is okay. What to you though? I'm asking a question, like seriously, because I don't doubt you or nothing, but what makes Rushmore a dark comedy and not just a regular quirky indie artsy comedy?
It is
It's a
the
good question.
like, of course, you start off with this building of a friendship between someone who's a parent of one of Jason Schwartzman's characters,
Uh huh.
Classmates, who decides that his kids are complete dumbasses and don't even deserve his attention.
Yeah.
And he starts hanging out with this younger kid, and it's not a mentor relationship. It's not a I can teach you things, I know more. It's we're gonna be friends type thing. Like we're
Uh-huh.
gonna talk as normal to each other. And then it turns out that they end up falling for the same woman.
Mike, what is your favorite genre then?
Sci-fi.
Science
I
fiction,
love science
absolutely,
fiction.
right?
Right. But I'm not a big Star Trek fan.
Why do you like? Oh, that's fine. That's fine. But why do you like science fiction above all others, man?
Just be able to take you out of your mind. Well, not take you out of your mind, but just take you out of reality. To believe that this is actually happening and this is actually real, and this is a possibility of like, wow, this could be the future. If you go back and watch,
do you like more cerebral things, like a more like a Blade Runner, Gattaca type thing? Do you like more space opera, like Star Wars and,
I like
and giant things like that?
I like it all. The bigger the space battle, the better.
Yeah.
So Hawkmen swooping in or X-wings, blowing up a Death Star.
But isn't Star Wars a little more fantasy though?
It's more. It's
not
definitely
based
more
on
fantasy.
Definitely more
our
science fantasy.
But it's more based off of. It's got like a little bit of the Odyssey and a little bit of Japanese culture.
Straight up.
And it's just
Kurosawa.
Very much so.
Heavy influence on him. He actually helped finance and produce some of Kurosawa's final films. Right?
Really?
Is that not right?
I think that would actually be what we're referring to as
him and Coppola.
His dreams.
Yes.
That was one of his last films.
Yes, indeed.
Let's move on with this though. Obviously, we've seen a shit ton of movies and a lot of good movies.
Yes, indeed.
And we've got a lot of reference behind it, so I think our qualifications are, lock, stock, and two smoking barrels right there.
That's a great movie.
Anybody know who director?
Guy Ritchie, who was married to Madonna. Her new album is mostly about their divorce. If anybody found that interesting.
I side with Guy Ritchie.
Yeah, me too.
I side with Madonna.
Fag.
Exactly.
Though I love Sherlock Holmes. Sherlock Holmes 2 is just okay.
I haven't seen
I never
Sherlock
saw
Holmes 2 yet. I'm waiting for DVD. But all right. So speaking of movies and theaters and DVDs and whatnot, even if it's in Laserdisc, even
Laserdisc.
Laserdisc.
Yes. Laserdisc.
Wow, yeah, that would take us back quite a few years.
Early 90s.
Very early 90s.
Oh, actually, what is the thing that you put in? I had one. My dad had one when I was little. It's the cassette. You put it in.
Betamax?
No, it's the size of a Laserdisc, but it's
a cassette.
No, it's about that thick, but it looks like a Laserdisc, and it's got its own separate player.
I have no idea.
I still have.
I know the Laserdiscs were really heavy, and they were about an eighth of an inch or more thick. They were pretty big.
But
they were like records.
It's like this.
CDs.
It's like this.
Record-size CDs.
Maybe half an inch thick. And
I don't know what you're talking about aside from like children's little turntable machines. Like I have.
This is something from early '80s, and it wasn't a Betamax, and it was just like you had the Betamax and you had the VHS, because I remember my dad recording, putting this. You could go to the public library and buy them, and then you play them, and then you could record the VHS, and then you got them forever. So,
I have no idea what that was.
I will look that up for the next one. What have you been watching, Robbie? Latest.
Lately?
DVD, movie, don't matter.
Lately, movie-wise, I haven't watched too many movies here lately. The last movie I actually watched was The Informant. Person I was chilling with had not seen it, and I recommended it, so we watched it. And I love The Informant. I'm a huge Soderbergh fan, and that was really good. The last new movie I have seen was actually John Carter. I went and saw John Carter in the movie theaters with all the people I work with. And we all loved it. A lot of people are not liking it very much right now. It's kind of tanking at the box office. Probably won't be a sequel or nothing. I don't know. I've been a big John Carter fan since I was a kid.
So you read the books?
Absolutely. Not all, 13, 16? I don't know.
Right.
I've never read all of them, but I'm very, very familiar with the story. He's kind of like the first superhero, Edgar Rice Burroughs, all that stuff. Disney did a very good job. There's some moments where it runs a little slow in pacing, some moments where the romantic dialogue between Carter and Deja Thoris is forced and cheesy, lame. Overall, a very well-done movie. CG's fantastic. The action's fantastic. Very enjoyable. Kids should love it. It's going to be great on Blu-ray.
What are you watching? What are you watching now?
What I'm watching now, the last good movie I saw in a movie theater, unfortunately, was actually Thor.
Wow.
I haven't been to the theaters much lately.
Wow.
Seeing movies in theaters is time restraint. So, I understand.
And so, the last thing I've watched that I was like, actually, this is actually kind of interesting. This is different. This is good. Was I watched Fido, which was the zombie movie where they, basically.
Yeah, I've never seen that. Always intended to see it. I'm a huge zombie fan. You know it.
No, I don't know it.
You know I'm a huge zombie fan.
I know
Anyway,
you're a huge zombie
I
fan,
always
but I'm
intended
not
on watching that
familiar
movie. I
with
had tons of
Fido.
people recommending it.
Yeah.
How was it? Was it good?
It was pretty good, and I like the difference of perspective.
So it's a comedy more so than a horror movie.
Yes, most definitely, because it involves children and stuff like that. So I mean, it's a little more lighthearted. It's kind of like basically if you mixed Lassie with a zombie movie, and I think that's a very accurate
A
portrayal.
little bit of Flipper thrown in.
Yeah, actually, there's a very
Rin Tin Tin.
a very
Faster
funny scene
than
where
lightning.
the main
no
character,
one can
who's a
see.
boy, has a
It's smarter
for lack of
than
a better
he.
word, a pet zombie.
And they call
We
him
now
like
pause
it.
for the cinnamon whiskey break.
All right, I'm good on that.
Tink.
So, we've got Flipper, the killer zombie killer.
I'm surprised it took
Not-
us
no,
so
he doesn't
long.
kill zombies,
I'm
see.
surprised it took you so long to see Fido. I'm surprised I still haven't seen Fido.
I think it took a bored afternoon and Netflix.
Yes. Okay, I bet. Netflix.
I
Yes.
love it and I hate it at the same time. But that's a topic for a different story.
Great.
Well,
Mike, what's the last
first
good movie you saw?
The
Mike,
believe it or
I
not,
wanna know.
actually, I was doing you a favor and I
Oh.
had to stay up and do some work to help you out for the next day.
Yes.
So I actually watched Casablanca, the 1942, Humphrey Bogart film.
You rewatched
No,
Casablanca.
I watched it. I've seen the ending, I've seen the beginning, I've seen the middle, but I've never sat down and watched it all the way through.
You had never seen it all the way
Amazing.
through.
And yes, never seen it all the way through. I caught it at the end, I caught the beginning and fell asleep.
I envy you, sir.
Woke up in the middle, and it's just one of those films that's just like,
Sometimes you
Wow.
you wish you could go back and watch a movie as if you had never seen it before.
Well,
so I
I-
envy you. Casablanca is one of those movies
Yeah,
for me. That movie
definitely.
is
It's an
I mean-
excellent
Brilliant.
film.
I was surprised because I laughed a lot, and then there was a lot of drama and
Yes.
stuff that I experienced in my life.
there was a lot of drama behind that movie.
Yes, there is, but that's also because the director is awesome.
Yes.
Yes.
So
And I
he
think
did
every,
the Seahawk, and
Was that
Every
the dude that
great
did Exorcist,
movie.
or was that another guy?
that's the other guy.
That's the guy that did French Connection, did The
Yeah.
Exorcist, right?
Yes,
That's
yeah.
a weird connection there.
but
Not
every,
quite French.
But he did the Michael Curtis is the one that did Casablanca. He did the
Yeah.
Seahawk. He did pretty much every single Errol Flynn movie, and Robin Hood being
Did he do Robin
He
Hood?
did Robin Hood, and Robin Hood.
The Errol Flynn Robin Hood.
The Errol Flynn Robin Hood. Yes,
That's
and
a
there's
that's
a
a great
scene
one.
from the Errol Flynn Robin Hood that Steven Spielberg was so amazed by that he copied and did it in Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Which scene was that?
When you see that there's a sword fight going on and you
Uh-huh.
see Shadow,
Yeah.
and then at the very bottom of the screen the actors come in. Spielberg was like, "That's amazing, that's phenomenal,
Yeah.
it's awesome." Wanted to replicate it, did the same thing in Raiders
That's
when
really cool.
Sala and Indy are pulling out the Ark,
Uh-huh.
and you see the shadow of them carrying the Ark out, and then they come into the scene, and that's the
That's
the
really
homage.
cool. I did not know that. That's
Or as
really
Tracy
cool.
Morgan would say, the homage.
An homage.
The homage. The homage.
That was really cool. That's neat. I did not know that.
All right, we're going to take a quick break real quick. We're going to come back with let's see, we've got movies we're looking forward to seeing, whether it's on DVD or film. And the meat of this podcast, our top 5. So stay tuned and be prepared for probably some of the most funniest stuff you've ever heard. Top 5 coming up next.
Find a way through. I can find a
Thanks for joining us again. That was Anchor Thieves you heard on our quick little break. They've got a new album coming out. It's really awesome from what I've heard so far. Really looking forward to see it. More from the Anchor Thieves coming up in a future musical podcast. We'll be interviewing the guys and talking about the album and where they have come from and their struggle to come up into the music business and everything else. And that is a future podcast, so stay tuned to Smile or Else Music Podcast. But right now, I want to get to movies we're looking forward to see. So either DVD that's coming out or that is already out that you have not watched, or the hot summer film. James, what are you looking forward to?
There's probably going to be a little contention about the movie I'm looking forward to. It is a retelling or a new version or a switch up on something from our past. Dark Shadows.
No, I've seen the Dark Shadows trailer and I like it. I like what I see.
I have seen the Dark Shadows trailer and I do not like what I see.
I've seen the trailer. I'm not sure yet about what I've seen. I'm usually pretty
You only
sure
say that because you're a huge fan of Tim Burton.
that is
If
correct.
Tim Burton didn't do that movie, you would say you were not looking forward to that movie. I declare, I dare to say.
Well, probably yes, but I mean, I think that goes with every movie any of us thinks about going to see.
I agree. Yes.
We know the director, the writer, sometimes the cinematographer,
So,
all that stuff. So,
regardless of what you see in the trailer, you're saying you trust Tim Burton, one of your favorite directors.
most of the time.
All right, Robbie, what are you looking forward to?
Right now, the movie I'm most looking forward to this year, and I don't mean to be too much of a comic book fanboy, but of course it's The Dark Knight Rises, the
Dun, dun, dun.
last part of the Christopher Nolan Dark Knight trilogy. I think, to me, it is the most accurate and best interpretation of the Batman mythology in movie theater pop culture.
It's 'cause you like Bane.
I love Bane. I'm a huge Bane fan. Like, when I first started reading Batman comics, Bane was a big deal. You know, it was Nightfall. Superman had just died, and they were going to break Batman's back, and it was a big deal. But aside from that, Christopher Nolan, like, he hasn't done a movie I haven't liked yet. So I live in a world where Jon Favreau, the director of Swingers, did Iron Man. I live in a world where the director of Memento did Batman. I live in a world where the creator of my favorite TV show, Buffy the Vampire Slayer, and Firefly. I live in a world where he gets to do the Avengers movie. Like, I am so excited to be alive at this point, and I am totally looking forward to The Dark Knight.
Yeah,
Rises.
but I'm pretty sure that, we can talk to somebody 20 years ago that was our age at the time and be like, and they would have to say the same thing.
Dude, if I was living 20, 30 years ago and they announced Richard Donner, the guy that had just blew my mind with The Omen, was doing the Superman movie with Gene Hackman and Marlon Brando, I'd be just as excited and pumped up.
You would have shit your pants.
Absolutely.
All right, so let's get to the meat of it. Everything everybody has been waiting for.
Bum-ba-da-ba-dum.
The top 5 of all time.
Yes.
And we've had some time to think about this.
Yep, we've had a couple days.
And you should have good reasons.
Yep, I've thought about this most of my life.
Well, I hope so, because this is what it's coming
My
down
original
to.
number 1, by the way, would have been Back to the Future Part 2, probably.
Wow.
That has since changed. I think it's dropped back to 184.
I was pretty.
They might have that at 182.
About the same time, I was a big fan of Ernest Saves Christmas. So
Ooh, nice. I think that was a little bit later, actually, but I'm not sure.
I don't know. It was like the Back to the Future 2, Ernest Saves Christmas, Oliver and Company. I think it's all at the same time.
Oliver and Company, really?
Great Disney film right there.
The 80s not the best time for Disney. I don't know.
Dude, Billy Joel, really? All right,
They checked it out.
we'll get to our top favorite animated movies of all time
Yep.
and our worst animated movies of all time.
Yep.
But first,
Yes.
we're gonna do top 5 of our all time, and I'm gonna start things off with let's go Any Meeny Money Mo Robbie.
Oh,
Number 5 all
number
time.
5. Number 5, top favorite movie of all time.
Number 5.
I would, after a close inspection, my number 5 is 2001: A Space Odyssey by aforementioned Stanley Kubrick.
Really?
Yes.
So, what makes 2001 stand out?
I am a huge fan of exploration and the human ability to learn and to advance ourselves through our desire to explore and learn. And
How?
beyond all other movies, that movie
You doing, Hal?
really expresses to me that whole sense of what we as humans are capable of. I also think it's incredibly creepy, especially at the end. I love the house stuff. I love that movie. It's super long. It's got a very ambiguous ending. It's a movie you got to think about. I love it. It's my number 5.
The monkeys in the beginning made me laugh my ass off, and then that's about it. But I have sat through that movie the whole entire time, and I will agree with you that it's an awesome movie. Not my favorite Kubrick movie.
Perfect use of music in that movie.
I will give you that too.
Yes.
James, number 5 for you.
All right, I'll have to be honest. I had a really hard time coming up with just 5. So on my 5,
He cheated and probably has a tie.
yes.
Well, I need
Well,
a
then
tie.
mine's tied with Suburban Commando. 2001 and Suburban Commando.
You can't
That's a
do that.
very wide range there.
Yeah, well, I'm very eclectic.
I think the Undertaker's in that movie.
Yes, he is. Anyway.
James,
Interesting.
number 5.
So it's kind of
No
a
tie, straight up number
All
5.
right.
Give us both of them.
Johnny-
I don't care. Tie.
I'll leave Dead Alive. I'll make it 6. Okay, we won't talk about it.
Dead Alive's a great movie. It doesn't belong in the top 5, so yeah, leave that off.
All right, so
I
what's
said
your
it's
5?
I'm sorry, I've been drinking. I'm fucking with you.
Wow.
Yingling.
We will go with one of my, someone I really like. We'll go with Rushmore.
Rushmore.
Good
Talked
one.
about that earlier. Yes.
Had a good
Very
conversation
very
about
good.
Rushmore
Great
earlier.
movie. Wes Anderson. Great movie.
Very much
That's
so.
correct.
Not my favorite Wes Anderson, but yes, I will agree with you. Great Wes Anderson film. I'm more of the crazy Owen Wilson.
Would you
than
say that
Wes
was the
Anderson.
start of the Bill Murray's renaissance as being taken more seriously as an actor?
I would have to say it most definitely probably was. I mean,
It's like
after
his
that,
Good Will
he-
Hunting to his Robin Williams.
Yes.
Yeah, but then Robin Williams did some crap after that.
Yeah, well,
Well,
so did Bill Murray.
Zombieland was the shit.
Yeah, Broken Flowers is another story. Anyway,
Bill
Isn't
Murray
there somebody
did some
doing
cool
that?
stuff after that. We'll go with that.
all
Yeah.
right. You're
Then
number
there's-
5, Mike.
Well, James, you had something to say before Robbie
I mean,
cut you
also,
off?
introduced.
I do that. I'm sorry.
I'm the
Jason
moderator.
Schwartzman. We saw some other small actors in that.
And great MTV commercials.
Correct. I just really love the fun that Wes Anderson obviously had with that movie, making all those films into stage plays for high schoolers.
Yeah, totally.
That's got to be fun.
Oh, shit.
Are those Aurora Scrubs?
Oh, are they?
Exactly.
Classic line from a classic movie.
So what's your top?
My number
What's your number
5 would have to be You Do Not Talk About Project Mayhem. Chuck Palahniuk, one of my top favorite writers.
Yep.
I gotta go with Fight Club as my number 5.
Fight Club makes it into the all-time list.
Well, I mean, you don't talk about Fight Club. The movie, the music,
Yep.
the acting,
Mhm.
the directing, the cinematography, you name anything about that movie, and hands down was awesome. I love how the fact that you see Tyler in blips and quick shots,
Uh-huh.
and then welcome, and there's Tyler Durden right there in the front, but you don't see it, and it's a little bit different from the book, but then who cares, because it's badass, and
Yeah.
I want to destroy something beautiful.
Uh-huh.
And just the transition of Jack, the Ed Norton character, from the beginning towards the end, character-wise, is awesome.
Yeah, perfect movie. I love that movie. That movie's great. Plus it has the lead singer of Live in it. So
And also, of course, I think it actually might be a better thought out version of the idea of the book.
uh-huh.
Very much so.
One of the best
Well,
adaptations
and
of the
The
book.
ending, particularly.
Yes.
It makes more
Oh, I
sense.
do-
I completely that ending
Did you
went
did you read the
beyond
book?
me when I
I
first saw
did
it.
read the book, yes.
And you did not read the book.
I have not read the book,
But the
even
ending
though
of
I
the
just
book
said it
was
was
a
a
little bit
perfect
more-
adaptation.
It was a great. The ending for the movie is great. The book a little creepy,
Most definitely.
because
I mean,
he's laying there in the bed. Spoiler alert. after everything is said and done, he's laying in a hospital bed. And Jack wakes up and he's just like, oh shit, I'm in a hospital bed. And then the nurse comes in, or orderly, or whatever you want us to call him, comes in and talks to him, and it's like, it's okay, Mr. Durden, we're with you. And it's just like, oh shit, you really just thought this was over? Not really. There's a continuing point.
I'm surprised they never did a sequel.
It doesn't deserve a sequel. We'll get to that later.
Also, right before the ending, instead of the bombs actually exploding, they actually are duds. Nothing happens.
In the book, they don't go off?
That's why he gets caught.
They don't go off, and there's no Pixies music playing.
Correct. There's no Pixies music.
I don't know if I can read that book then, man.
No, the book is very amazing.
The book is very good. I
will definitely read it. I've heard that.
But like I said, to me, when it gets to the end, he just kind of finishes it.
I would read that book the next time I read Leviticus through. So it might be like a few years. Yes.
Robbie, you're number 4.
My number 4 all-time movie, I decided would go ahead and be Ridley Scott's Blade Runner, starring Harrison Ford. Ridley Scott's Blade Runner, starring Harrison Ford. My number 4.
Good choice.
Love that movie.
Anything you would like to add?
I love that movie because the vision of it. Ridley Scott's one of my favorite directors because he cares so much about every detail. Coming from a production design background, he cares so much about every single detail and every word, every prop on set, everything. It's an ambiguous movie. You can decide what it means to you individually. I love movies like that. To me, it's the best movie like that. Blade Runner, also my number 1 favorite sci-fi movie of all time. Well, it's number 4.
The main question is Deckard a human or not?
Deckard, to me, is a replicant. So that's my opinion.
Good call, and we will fight about this a little bit later. James,
I also
number 4.
agree with Robbie. He's totally man-made.
What do you think?
And not in the
replicant or not?
We'll get to that coming up in a little bit.
That means he thinks he's not.
I think he disagrees.
That means Mike
James,
is wrong.
Number 4, James.
Okay. I'm going to go with Oh Brother, Where Art Thou?
Oh,
great movie, great soundtrack, totally redefined everything in America at the time.
Fantastic package, like Mike just said. Fantastic package. That movie is absolutely phenomenal.
Speaking of fantastic packages,
probably got more people
into bluegrass
and understanding what the Odyssey was really about.
That is correct. And also, a lot more people realized that they may, in fact, be a Dapper Dan man.
Plus, it has one of my favorite actors in it ever, George Clooney.
He did an excellent job, and his
Southern
accent, amazing.
That movie is so clever and so well done that I have read The Odyssey probably 3 times in my life. I love that story. I watched that movie, and I found out it was based on The Odyssey in a interview someone was doing with something. I didn't even pick up on it when I watched it. So that movie is genius.
Well, that's because it's bona fide.
That probably makes my top 10. I'm not sure. That might be my favorite Coen Brothers movie.
James.
That might be my favorite Coen Brothers movie. I'm not sure, but it really is. It's hard.
So my number 4. We're going to my number 4 right now, and that my favorite. I remember watching the Academy Awards when I was younger, and I always laughed when I saw it. I've got friends that laugh at it every time I play it, and it is Major Kong riding the bomb. And if anybody knows who Major Kong is...
Are you talking about Dr. Strangelove?
Then props to you. But yes, I am talking about Dr. Strangelove. Peter Sellers, or How I Loved to Stop Worrying and Love the Bomb.
Correct.
One of Peter Sellers' best films, one of Stanley Kubrick's best films, which I will take over 2001.
That's arguable.
It is a very much dark comedy. You know, the acting.
Yeah,
the acting,
I would agree. So yeah,
the acting is great.
Absolutely.
I mean,
how many roles does Peter Sellers play in the movie?
He plays at least 3 that I know of off the top of my head.
It's like an Oscar-worthy version of the Pink Panther.
Very much quotable lines from the movie. You know, great acting, great story. Especially during the time period that it was released, you know, everybody was in fear of, you know, the Cold War and Russia and us having World War III and the nuclear bombs coming off and everything's popping.
Yep.
And then, early James Earl Jones, too, future Darth Vader.
You guys are making some excellent choices.
Robbie, you're number 3.
My number 3 favorite movie of all time would probably be the movie that I have watched the most out of every movie I've ever watched. It is a very simple comedy about real emotions. I think out of every movie about teenagers, it rings the most true.
Teen Wolf?
It is close. Dazed and Confused by Richard Linklater, sir. Starring a plethora of amazing young actors of the time. I can watch that movie from any point, anytime, all the way till the end.
All right.
I can. The way girls are at church lock-ins with Princess Bride, I am with that movie. I can quote every line of Dazed and Confused as it's playing. It's awesome.
A lot of our close friends are big fans of Princess Bride.
And
that don't
I
go to
am
church.
a huge fan of that, but if anybody was at Huntsville, Alabama church lock-ins in the 90s, they know what I'm talking about. Anyway, I love that movie. That's my number 3.
So, do you have a certain feeling about high school girls?
I get older. They stay the same age.
James.
Magnum PI.
Nice answer. That's his number 3 for everything, no matter what the question is.
Alright,
He failed quite a few tests in high school because number 3, whatever the question was, the answer was Tom Selleck.
Or Magnum PI.
Or Magnum PI.
It's a lovely mustache.
Dun, dun,
Just
dun,
saying.
dun, dun,
The
dun,
best.
dun, dun, dun,
Truly.
dun, dun, dun,
Alright,
dun,
so,
dun, 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 dun,
Number 3 on film. I'm going to take us out of the country.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
First foreign film?
Craziness. We're going to go with City of Lost Children.
City of
A
Lost
movie I've
Children.
never seen and always been encouraged to
A
see.
movie
many
I've
times.
never even heard of.
Really?
Wow.
Was that the guy that did
Totally-
Amelie?
Yes, it was.
Indeed. French film?
That it is.
Indeed.
That doesn't
A
surprise
French
me.
science fiction film that is slightly a dark comedy.
People have always told me that's a good movie. You let me borrow it for a time and I never watched it.
Yes. I think you had it for like 3 months.
Yeah, and I
Maybe
just gave
more,
it back.
who
I was like,
knows?
I'm not going to watch this. I'm too busy with, at the time, who knows?
The
Doctor Who or
cinematography
Star Trek.
and that
Maybe.
the cinematography in that movie, amazing. The colors, the way they put everything together, awesome.
All right.
And it has Ron Perlman in it.
Ooh, if it's got Ron Perlman in it,
Yes. Pearl Man.
I will
Yes.
watch that with you. We may discuss how I feel about that. How I feel about that movie.
Look,
Ron directors love
next
him.
time.
Ron Perlman was in Ice Pirates. And as a kid, I loved Ice Pirates.
There you go.
So, yes, I will watch that with you.
We should watch that together. Maybe we should review that for our next non-sequel episode of the movie podcast.
Excellent.
An idea.
Little brew.
Very, very, very good call there, Mr. Billups. With me, I want to take us to a movie that scared the fucking shit out of me. I did not leave my house for a day. I did not even go outside to smoke a cigarette. I did not do anything. I did not leave the couch. I was so scared that the smallest noise, my dog had to take a shit. And I didn't even let him out. I was like, fuck you. You shit on the floor. I'll clean
Is
it
this
up.
movie Deliverance?
No. This movie is The Road.
Ooh,
With Viggo Mortensen.
I've never
and
seen The
Charlize
Road.
Theron.
Never.
Charlize Theron being my favorite number 1 all-time actress of ever.
No, hold on. You did not just say that, right?
Yes, she is hot as shit. You know, if I the number
Out of
one,
every actress of all time, you choose who?
Charlize Theron.
Did you like Monster?
She's a little creepy in Monster.
But did you like that movie?
I don't know. I really didn't see it.
That movie felt to me like a Lifetime movie.
I don't care. She's still
role,
hot.
What are you? What role are you talking? What? Like, how is she even better than someone like Janine Garofalo, Jennifer Aniston? Run of the mill. That's what I'm thinking of right now. Like, how is she even
Janine
better than them?
Garofalo compared to Jennifer Aniston compared to all right.
Yes.
Number
There's
10
a
being
difference in the hot
number
back.
10
She's
being
in one of my worst movies I've ever seen.
Number 10 being Janine Garofalo.
He loves
however the
truth
fuck you
about
pronounce
cats and dogs.
Look, I love mystery men. Okay, But
That
you
movie's
know
awesome.
what?
I love that movie. I'm
With
not
Janine
talking shit about
Garofalo,
Janine
number
Garofalo
10.
or Jennifer Aniston.
Number 5, Jennifer Aniston. Number 1, Charlize Theron.
That just surprises me. Out of every actress in the history of American movies, and that's who you choose. That Lauren Bacall was a person who existed in this reality.
Beauty is in the eye of the beholder.
Jodie Foster existed in this.
Look, Jodie
Audrey
Foster.
Hepburn.
Faye Dunaway, Audrey Hepburn.
Did you see Now with Jodie Foster and Now?
Goddamn. Kate
I saw the
Winslet. What the fuck?
Titties and
Charlize Theron.
It's hot, dude. Hot. Maxim.
Alexis Texas is a better actress than her, man.
Actress?
Wow.
I just don't
Really?
understand that. I guess we're all entitled
Look,
to our opinions.
It's not about the road. That's about her, and she's hot. And,
I've never seen it. I didn't even know she was in it. But Viggo Mortensen is, and he's a great actor.
Yes, it is
And it's
very.
it's a Cormac McCarthy movie.
Yes,
It is.
Like,
No
based on his
Country for
book,
Old Men,
No
All the
Country.
Pretty Horses.
Yes.
It's
Blood
post-apocalyptic.
Meridian was
Yes.
a fantastic book that I read.
Supposed to be coming out with a movie soon.
That's
but
going to be rated
post-
NC 29.
As long as it's got
Excellent.
Charlize
All of us can find
Theron
the movie.
nude in it, I'll be there watching it. Robbie, your
Yes.
number 2.
My number 2 movie of all time is what I consider to be the greatest film ever made, and many other critics, and maybe I take the cheap way and agree with them. But it's only my number 2 favorite movie. But it is a movie I think that spans the ages, never dies, always feels fresh. And that is Orson Welles' beautiful classic, Citizen Kane.
See, I would have taken Citizen Kane as your number 1, so I'm really surprised to see what your number 1.
Well, there's a difference to me between what you consider to be the best and what you consider to be your favorite. I've watched Citizen Kane many times. I love that movie. It speaks to me personally. And every time I date a girl, one of the first things I ask them is, have you seen Citizen Kane? And if they haven't, I love that movie so much, I very rarely show them Citizen Kane first. I'll usually show them the documentary, Academy Award winning, by the way, documentary, The Battle Over Citizen Kane. Anyway.
James, number 2 for you.
This is actually slightly awkward. We made these lists separately.
We have no idea what the other person's list
No.
says.
And my number 2 film is Citizen Kane.
Oh, I am so proud of one of my friends right now, James.
I feel very much like I'm just copying Robbie right now, but
It really is.
Yep. All the things he just said, and then also like the fact that they had to expand what they did in films to make this movie. They had to get new film, change lighting.
So
Really?
he used techniques that people still to this day can't use successfully.
Well, then, but if you, what's his
He was
face?
about stretching the boundaries. What can we do with this new medium of film?
Well, look at-
Talking film. What can we do? If he was alive today, he would be out doing Christopher Nolan. He would be, what can we do to
Well, what about Michael?
to further this
No,
medium?
no offense, but Michael
He
Michael
created-
Curtis also revolutionized the way that some of the movies are done.
Who?
To this day.
Who?
Casablanca, Errol Flynn,
Oh,
you know,
hold on.
the director.
Citizen Kane. Unicron. There you go.
That's a very simple breakdown.
Don't even forget that he did The Trial, The Stranger, Mr. Arkadin, Orson Welles.
Not
Probably
Orson
the
Welles.
single most self-destructive genius in
Howard
film
Hughes
history.
of
I mean, I don't
the
know.
movies.
I love him, man. I can't. I wish
All
I
right,
could
well,
meet
then-
him.
Well, shut up and let James talk because this is James'
That's right.
number 2.
That's right.
And on my end, like it is the very advancement of the art, the craft, the skill going into making movies at that time. I mean,
Plus, he moved his camera.
that too, and also
He showed
created-
ceilings.
He created the use of depth of field, really.
Yeah, that still doesn't tell you. what it
Charlie.
means. What's your number 2, Mike?
Charlie, what are you doing to me, Charlie?
Is that your number 2?
Charlie.
That sounds like
Charlie.
the classic starring Marlon Brando on the waterfront.
I could have
On the
been.
waterfront.
I could have been somebody, Charlie.
It was
But
you, Charlie.
It was you, Charlie.
Probably one of the
It was
greatest
you.
quotes in movie history.
It was you. I could have been somebody. I could have been a contender. But I'm a bum. A no good, rotten bum. Because of you, Charlie.
Story of Mike's
Charlie?
life.
I love you, Charlie. Now we get to the big one.
Oh.
The big gun. The number one. The top. If I could do a Casey Kasem's number one, I can't. But
Number one movie of all time.
number one, Robbie, what you got for me?
American Beauty, starring Kevin Spacey. That movie changed my life. I love that movie.
Were you Kevin Spacey jerking off to the hot chick, or were you the kid with the camera?
I was
Jerking
a
off,
mixture of both.
or jerking off to the frumpy chick?
And I can't wait till I'm 45 to go through a very similar midlife crisis that
Shit,
he
I
went
just kicked
through.
my mic.
However, Birch, I'd probably give it to
Thora
him.
Birch had huge tits, and that's what she
Exactly.
needed for that movie.
And what
However,
has she done since?
no, that
Doesn't
movie
matter.
that movie is more so than anything else a drama. But it is
definitely.
also a dark comedy. It is also
For sure.
a story about identity, midlife crisis, family, suburbia. I love that movie. That's the movie that made me feel that Kevin Spacey could play Lex Luthor, and then in Robbie's perfect world, he got to play Lex Luthor. That movie spoke so much to me. That movie came out the same year as Fight Club, and I worked at the movie theater when it came out.
Yes, you
and so
did.
on my breaks, I would get to go and watch whatever. Those two movies coming out in the same month, the same year, changed my life.
See, I'd taken Fight Club hands down.
But to me, it's American Beauty. That movie
Brad Pitt's ass.
made me realize
That V-cut.
how much was important, how much you could change, how you could do a complete 180 from where you are. If you're unhappy, you can change it within a day. A day. That movie has so many layers. It's like, to me, the Watchmen of film. It's
That's-
absolutely amazing.
See, that's what I get.
So much.
That's what I get from on the waterfront.
Absolutely. You should get that from your favorite movies. American Beauty, though, more than any movie, it made me see the world different. And I will watch that movie every time. And it's one of the only deaths I get happy about.
James, what is your number one all-time favorite?
I'm interested to hear this.
I'm pretty sure Robert can actually guess, but however, I'm gonna go with Seven Samurai.
Dude,
I knew it.
With the English title, I'm not gonna try to pronounce it properly.
He's not one of those original language fags.
I know.
Whatever.
Shinji no Samurai, something like that.
I
Whatever.
can't believe there's not a Kurosawa film in my top 5, but I
It's
went
Kuros-
all American, but it's hard.
I have a Kurosawa in my top 10, or my top 20, 15 and 20, but not in my top 2.
If I had to pick one Kurosawa film, it is Seven Samurai.
Yeah, I go Yojimbo.
Why do you love it so much?
Yes.
It is just such a simple and pure story. Like, there's this village of starving peasants. They get attacked by these, bandits, and everything's been taken from them.
Mm-hmm.
And they have this. They finally come with the idea. We're gonna set out. We're gonna find our own samurai. The biggest thing he did was he actually changed the entire way Japanese films are made. I mean, because before that, you didn't show emotion. You didn't let people know what you were feeling on the inside.
Mm-hmm.
That was completely crazy. I mean, here's this guy. He's a painter. He lived through World War II. Saw the bombing of his country. Everything is crazy, and he still comes out and makes these very beautiful stories. It
Was it-
shows you.
Wasn't that before the bombing, though?
No.
Oh.
Was it after?
All of his movies took place. I mean, well, he started really making movies the very end of the 40s and the beginning of the 50s.
Yeah, Gojira was his biggest influence. Just joking.
Milo was his biggest influence.
Well, I mean, honestly, not to be
He's a
so
very
joking.
visual storyteller as well.
Yeah, he knows how to show you things. Knows when to have his.
That's another
actors
thing I love
talking,
about.
Knows when just to let you see something.
That's another thing I love about American Beauty is the imagery.
But we will get back to that later.
We could
for
have a
another one.
whole episode on Kurosawa. We could
Because
have
I want to
one for
debate
real.
you between Yojimbo and Seven Samurai. Because Yojimbo is my favorite Kurosawa film.
It's the most accessible. I'll say that. We'll move on.
I'm also a big spaghetti western fan, but that has nothing to do with my top 5. Number one, because my top 5 number 1 goes.
I'm very interested to hear this.
You already know what it is, so.
Ladies and gentlemen,
smart ass.
Mike Matthews' number 1 movie of all time.
Go ahead and tell him, Robbie. Tell him. You
is Willow.
Yes, I do love Willow because Mad Mardigan and / Val Kilmer is a badass.
Top Gun.
You'll always be my wingman.
What is it, Mike?
It's Blade Runner. Robbie's number 4, right? 4. Yeah, Robbie's number 4.
The
Blade
fantastic
Runner.
number 4.
Blade Runner, hands down. Love sci-fi. Watched a bunch of it. I would have said Empire is my best one. Was my top of all time. It's Empire Strikes Back. But then when I saw Blade Runner. Holy fucking shit.
Yes. Wait, how old were you when you first saw it?
7.
What version?
The theatrical on Fox.
It would have to be because, the director's cut was not out yet.
Till 91.
Yep.
And
I was testing you, Mike.
I am a firm believer that Deckard is a human.
That means Mike is wrong, but that's okay.
Correct. With that, what was your number 1? Because I just forgot.
American Beauty.
7 Samurai. Blade Runner.
3 awesome picks. We should go watch them right now.
Harrison Ford is the shit.
Yes.
With that, I will say, Robbie Billups.
Yes.
You say.
Just keep it real. Watch some more movies and enjoy everything. Swing by the deep, buy a comic.
James Lineback.
Keep your eyes open. See what's in front of you.
Look closer.
Ooh, Kevin, our audio engineer, you got anything to say?
I like turtles.
Mama, get near a mic when you say that.
Kevin likes turtles. Okay. My name is Mike Matthews. Thanks for joining us. Again, special thanks to the Anchor Thieves for letting us use their music. Again, we will hit them up very soon for our music podcast. Stay tuned for that. Thank you again for coming out. It's been a blast. It's been fun. One of our highlights for next film episode is sequels. So
sequel episode.
Get ready. Get your.
It makes sense for the second episode to be the sequel one.
We
discuss all things sequel.
Get your
with
sequels
a special
ready.
Guest.
I hope that our listeners' sequels are nowhere near what our sequels are.
Check out our website and Facebook. Let us know what your favorite sequels of all time are.
Throw it up, individually also.
Indeed.
We take text messages.
Check back next time. We're all gonna discuss our top 5 favorite sequels of all time and top 5 worst sequels of all time. That's gonna be a fun one.
Yes.
Interesting.
Bruce Willis has been mentioned a lot tonight. Remember, everybody has to drink when Bruce Willis's name pops up in any podcast by Smile or Else.
It's next week, starting next week.
So I guess thank you for having us, Mike.
Thank you, Robbie. Thank you, James. Thank you, Kevin.
Thank you, Mike.
Thank you, Creamsicle, for clawing the back of my leg.
Nice.
I appreciate it. And thank you for listening. This is Mike Matthews
Thank
signing
you.
out. Have a good night.
Robbie, goodbye.
Good night, guys.
Peace.
Word.